Hey folks, Gary Dean here with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. So what a wild ride today. Things really looked like they were going to fall apart at one point. IWM was down over, I think, like 2.5%. And we had the spiders were getting crushed, but you can see I have two different primary accumulation and distribution. So the accumulation here is based off of our anchor that's here, and it's going off of this high. And you can see we came right into our secondary accumulation zone. We got a couple buy signals, so we knew institutions were buying. Our heavy indicator was giving us that it was pretty oversold. And from there, we saw the spiders jump from the 732 all the way up to 738.87. It was a massive run. And the thing is that even as we were coming down, though, we really only saw buying, but this was yesterday. And when we gapped down, it was really not. We saw a little bit of buying, but right here was really the time when they stepped in, and that was right at our secondary accumulation. So one thing that I was pointing out, I'm not sure if we have it on. Yeah, we do here, because I was going to show you, I know on IWM there's a big divergence. So this is our buy-sell indicator, and you can see from this drop on, we just saw there was a big divergence that was taking place here. So I was definitely looking more for a low, and we were trading IWM. We actually had a really good day on it. We did our strangle trades, and we're making money on both sides of them, which is very rare, especially when you have something that's down 2.5%, and your first entry on the long side was some 4 points out of the money, and then it ended up coming back and making what we did, but we made a lot of money on the put side. So anyway, you can see that we ran right into it, that buyers stepped in. Look where we're at right now. We're right at our secondary distribution. So we could be making some type of, let's say, triangle here from this low. It's actually going to work out perfect, because you can see the angles on these are going to be exactly the same, because they both hit our secondary accumulation, distribution and accumulation. So you can see if this is going to play out like this, we have A, B, C, D, and now we probably have E that would come down and test the right around that 732.67. That's if they're going to follow this pattern here. But you can see it actually does match up really well with it. And if we see the spiders jump above these levels, then really the next thing we're looking at is going to be up at the 740.78, which was the previous highs. But as I've been saying, we're really deep into the let's say the wave structure, and I'll just show you this on a hourly chart here. And here it is, where we have our 1, 2, we have made our wave 3. Now we made let's just say 3, 4, and now what happens is we're scraping out that wave 5 of 5. And once that happens, that's when I believe we're going to have that deeper pullback. And even today, that where it was really, we were down pretty hard, but we haven't really had a day down like that in a long time, and it felt like the market was crashing at one point. So if we actually get an actual retracement, which I'm anticipating, people are going to think we're back in a bear market. And that's really what happens with the bulls, is they just keep pressing and pressing, where nobody thinks this market will ever go down, and you have one down day and people start panicking. And it's a double-edged sword on it, because if you don't have the buyers that are stepping in, especially the institutions, and you have your retail that's panicking because they're seeing the indexes going down, and typically they're in the high flying stocks too, because we got our portfolio got hit hard today from our actual portfolio stocks. But in the end, we ended up coming out $550, because this was IWM. We made this on our trades. So we ended up doing fine with it, even though the portfolio stocks really took a pretty big hit on it. So let's do, hang on, let me see what I'm on right here. bear with me. Okay, yeah, I'm forgetting that I'm not doing it I'm not publishing it in here. I'm thinking I have to get back to the same exact chart. So, okay, let's do this. We're at the, let's go to the spiders on the hourly chart. So you can see where we have a mass, this thing is definitely our wave 3, because you can see our heavy indicator that's just been pinned below the 0 line going all the way back since April 26. So that makes it that this is your wave 3, and we could have a little move up where this could just be an ABC when we break to the downside, and we see maybe the spiders come down to the 720 to 722 area, and that would make sense where you have an ABC, and then this would be our a larger wave 4, and then we make a wave 5 up. But the fact that we're above the highs, this wave 5 can end anywhere, and when it does, that's when we're going to get our wave 2 down, and it's really going to be probably pretty sharp and pretty fast, and it's going to wipe a lot of people out, meaning that they're going to believe that, you know, all the people calling for the market to crash, and they're going to sell everything, and it was really just a wave 2 down, and the wave 3 is going to, you know, take us up to new all-time highs. So that's really it. And the crazy part though today is we didn't really see a whole like this is our one buy signal. So we got our these are actually working out pretty well as far as the signals for this code. You can see it when you go out on a 15-minute chart. I mean, if you just took this signal here, you had you took spiders at 734, it made a low at 729. That's 4 points. Then you got your buy signal here at the 734. Didn't have a whole lot of room. It still moved 4 points. This one didn't work out, but then you have this one that just say you take the bottom of the candle here. You got in at 738, and you made a move all the way down to 732. So, and now we have our buy signal here. So I'm liking this new code. I'm testing it. It's not even out for anybody, but it's something that I'm really starting to like to watch, because it combines all of these indicators into like they all have to be at a certain level, whether it be like this is a buy signal on the heavy, or just to say a buy warning. We have a divergence going with our IPM, our buy sell. Our divergent indicator, and we have our buy sell moving into a divergence, and that gives us our actual trigger. So it's pretty cool because they work all off of liquidity, and they're combining them all together. And every night I'm always playing around with these, so that's why I don't really have them out for everybody. But anyway, let's take a look at IWM real quick. And this was a wild move, and as I said, we got. When we were trading at the 282.50, we took right around that 281.50. We took the 282 calls and the 281 puts. They made money when we came down here, and I closed them a little bit early, but it covered that trade, and then we ended up coming back up and able to get the 282s back into play. But really, where we made our money was buying the 279 calls and the 278 puts, knowing that I didn't think the puts were going to play out unless we were going to have some kind of crash. And from there, that's where we had a really, really good trade on it, because we were able to close the 279s at right around. I closed them right around that 281. Say 30 level, and obviously it went up. We could have made a lot more on some of those trades, but it got up to the 282.70, so we were able to close out our 282 call. So it worked out really, really well. Again, we still have this. You can see that IWM ran right into our primary accumulation. We got a buy signal, and we did see some buying down here. We had our heavy oscillator that was given a buy, and this is why it's giving me an idea that we actually could continue higher, because we really don't really see moves to the downside when this is on a buy. We do see him continue up, but right now, whenever we've seen any kind of buy signal, it's continued up. So they have the bulls have gas in the tank if they want, but we'll have to just wait and see. So let's take a look at a 5-minute chart. And I'll wrap this up pretty quick for you. So again, this is just knowing what institutions are doing, and the advantage that it gives you is that here you can see when we are up here, this was a high volume reversal bar. We did get a little pullback on it, but that was it. But then this is our swing trade indicator, this red one. Again, you guys don't have it. I'm still testing this out. But again, then we have our regular indicators that are going off of all this, that we're triggering sell signals with 2 high volume reversal bars, and that's all the way up at 286.24. So with that trade alone, I mean, you're going all the way down. That's 8 points on IWM if you would have taken that trade. Those options aren't really that expensive. You could have bought. I mean, I didn't have them. I'm just saying if you did, but I mean, if it was 286, you could have bought the 284s for probably 80 cents, and we're able to cash those in for $6. But again, let's get back to this. So we made it into our support zone. I actually put these here because this was the gap. This is the support. And once we started seeing buy signals, that's when we took the trade on the long side, and it worked out fantastic. Now we have a little bit of we're getting a little overbought on our heavy oscillator. We had some bearish divergences on our liquidity, but we had a little buy right here. So it's really, I'm up in the air on this one. If we pull back, where I would be looking for the pullback to go to would be, I'm going to measure here, because if it takes it out, then we're going to have to go to a deeper one. So it's 56 bars. So let me move this to 56. And this is going to give us our proper format. So here we go. So this, if we do get a pullback, so this is actually our resistance from up here. We're right in our primary distribution. If it makes it above, we're looking 285.24. If we get a pullback, really what we want to keep an eye on is our accumulation zone, 280.62 down to the 279.31. If that gets taken out, that's when we have to start looking at longer term charts and figuring out where that is, because this held. So really the next support level that we're looking at is coming down at the 276. So this is pretty important that they hold it, because if they lose this line, then things could be in trouble. So let's actually see where the next line would be if that's the case on it. So if they lose that, here's 66 bars. So I'm going to change that to 66. And it actually shouldn't be really that much further down, honestly. Let's see. A little bit. Okay, so that's actually our that's what it hit today. Again, really, we'd be looking right around that 274.16. So I'm going into this open-minded. I see reasons why the bulls, especially IWM, could try to reach for this 285 level. If they lose it, really the way I'm looking at it is an A, B, C. This is our A. We're now making a wave B, and then we would make our wave C, and we could come all the way down to the 270. I'm not ruling that out. So let's see what plays out tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll talk to you guys in the morning.